Welcome back, Stefan here. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the 90s, a decade that brought us some of the most iconic sports cars of all time. These machines weren't just fast, they were groundbreaking in design, technology, and performance. In this video, we're going to explore 10 sports cars from the 90s that were way ahead of their time. So, sit back, relax, and let's take a ride through automotive history. First up, the 1991 Subaru SVX. Designed by the legendary Giorgetto Giugiaro, this car had a unique feature that set it apart: a window within a window. It looked futuristic, almost like something out of a sci-fi movie. But it wasn't just about looks. The SVX came with a 3.3-liter flat-six engine, producing 230 horsepower and an all-wheel drive system that was quite advanced for its time. Inside, it boasted an AM/FM/cassette/CD player and automatic climate control. Pretty high-tech back in the day. The downside? It was a bit heavy, and the 4-speed automatic transmission didn't quite match its sporty aspirations. Moving on to the 1992 Mazda MX-3. This little coupe was all about innovation. It featured the smallest mass-produced V6 engine at the time, a 1.8-liter unit that made 130 horsepower. Sure, that might not sound like much today, but back then, it was a marvel of engineering. The MX-3 was small, nimble, and came with a manual transmission that made it a joy to drive. Its compact size and unique design made it stand out, even if the interior was a bit tight for some. Now, let's talk about the 1999 Honda S2000. This car was a game-changer in the world of roadsters. Under the hood was a 2.0-liter four-cylinder engine that produced an impressive 240 horsepower. What made it special was its VTEC engine with a 9,000 RPM redline, giving drivers an F1-like experience on the street. Paired with a 6-speed manual transmission, the S2000 was all about precision and performance. It had razor-sharp handling and a high-revving engine that made it a true driver's car. But it wasn't the most comfortable for daily driving due to its rigid suspension. Next up, the 1999 Audi TT. When it first appeared as a concept at the 1995 Frankfurt Motor Show, it turned heads with its bold, rounded design. By the time it hit production in 1998, the TT had solidified its place as a design icon. The TT, in its name, stands for Tourist Trophy, a nod to the famous race held on the Isle of Man. Underneath its sleek exterior, the TT offered a turbocharged 1.8-liter four-cylinder engine that pumped out 222 horsepower. With its 2+2 layout, it was also relatively practical for a sports car. But, like many early models, it had some issues, including electrical problems and stability concerns at high speed. The 1995 BMW M3 is next on our list, often regarded as one of the best M3s ever built. This version of the M3 was all about delivering a pure driving experience. It featured a 3.0-liter inline-six engine that delivered 240 horsepower to the rear wheels, making it a joy to drive. The car's analog setup meant you felt connected to the road, and its handling was sharp and responsive. However, it was a bit heavy, and the ride could be stiff, especially in city driving. No list of 90s sports cars would be complete without the 1995 Toyota Supra. This car is a legend, especially in the tuning community, thanks to its incredibly robust 2JZ engine. The turbocharged 3.0-liter inline-six engine produced 320 horsepower and 315 pound-feet of torque in its stock form, but it was capable of much more with modifications. The Supra's blend of power, handling, and understated design made it a standout, even if the interior was a bit sparse. Then there's the 1993 Mazda RX-7, a car that was as unique as it was beautiful. The RX-7's curvaceous design turned heads wherever it went, and its rotary engine was unlike anything else on the market. The 1.3-liter turbocharged rotary engine produced 255 horsepower, enough to rocket the car to 60 miles per hour in just 5 seconds. Its handling was precise, and the RX-7 became a favorite among driving enthusiasts. However, the rotary engine had its drawbacks, including reliability issues and high maintenance costs. The 1991 Dodge Viper was a beast in every sense of the word. Powered by an 8.0-liter V10 engine that delivered 400 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque, the Viper was a raw, unfiltered driving experience. It was known as the Widowmaker for a reason. This car was hard to handle, with immense power that could easily get away from you if you weren't careful. The Viper was all about muscle and speed, but it was also infamous for its lack of driver aids, making it a real handful on the road. In 1999, Acura gave us the NSX, a car that combined exotic car performance with Honda reliability. The NSX featured a 3.2-liter V6 engine that produced 290 horsepower, paired with a 6-speed manual transmission. But what really set the NSX apart was its aluminum chassis and mid-engine layout, which gave it exceptional handling. The NSX also introduced the world to VTEC technology, which allowed the engine to breathe better at high RPMs, giving it a unique power delivery. It was expensive, but it was worth every penny for those who wanted a supercar experience without the usual drawback. Finally, we have the 1993 Porsche 911 GT2. Built to meet homologation requirements for the GT2 racing class, this car was a street-legal race car. It featured a twin-turbo 3.6-liter flat-six engine that produced 430 horsepower and an incredible 502 pound-feet of torque. The GT2 was lighter than the standard 911 turbo, and its rear-drive layout made it a thrilling, somewhat challenging car to drive. With flared fenders and a lowered stance, it looked the part too. The 911 GT2 was, and still is, a car that commands respect on the road. So, there you have it, 10 sports cars from the 90s that were way ahead of their time. These cars didn't just push the envelope, they ripped it up and rewrote the rules for what a sports car could be. Whether it was through cutting-edge technology, innovative design, or sheer performance, each of these cars left a lasting legacy that continues to influence modern sports cars today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our future videos. And let us know in the comments which of these 90s sports cars is your favorite.